Hey there guys, it's Tim and I'm bringing to you another motivational message this week, and it's going to be in the form of a question. I've done this before, but I want to start getting you thinking about different perspectives when it comes to your health and fitness journey or any goal that you want to set for yourself in your life. And the question for you today is, what energy are you bringing to the table? Now, let me explain what I mean by this, and I'll give you a little analogy to start with. If you own a performance car, say like a Ferrari or something like that. The Ferrari's got all of these amazing components that all work together. You've got your transmission, you've got the engine itself, you've got all the pistons, you've got the timing chains, all of the different moving parts that go together, all synchronously working together to move that car forward. And since it's a high performance car, every single piece has been designed a specific way. So all of those components are what will actually move you forward, get you going with that high performance speed that car is built for. But if you then take that Ferrari down to the gas station and fill it up with the crudest, lowest grade fuel that you possibly can, you put the wrong kind of oil in it, you don't put in the transmission fluid, or maybe you put in some, just pour some lemonade in there or something like that, then that car might run, but it's not going to run very well, and it's certainly not going to run at its peak performance. And over time, it's just going to stop performing altogether. Now, I make this analogy to say that that fuel and those fluids and the things that you're feeding that car, this is what I talk about when I say, what sort of energy are you bringing to the table? Now let's talk about how this relates to you. So in your health and fitness journey, you've got your body. Your body are those technical mechanical components like I was talking about on the car. It's your bones, your muscles, every cell of your body, how it all works together, and it's an amazing system. It's already been put together. You didn't have to do anything to make that happen, and all of those components, your brain, your nervous system, how that works together is how you do the movements and how you're able to do what your brain is asking of you. But if you're bringing the wrong energy or the wrong attitude to the actions and to the goals that you're setting for yourself, then it's just like putting that cruddy fuel into that high performance vehicle. You're not going to get the performance you want. You're not going to get the results that you want. And you're ultimately not going to get to your end goal, because bringing that crappy attitude, that bad mood into high-minded goals, things that are going to require a lot of your energy and a lot of your dedication and focus, you're not going to be able to get to where you want to go. So when you set yourself a goal, you may have actually taken the time to really hash this out already. You've sat down, it's like, okay, I know I want to be at 165 by this specific date. 3 months from now, I want to have lost 35 pounds. And so I've got my goal, I got my deadline, I know which program I'm going to follow, I've got a meal plan put in place that I'm going to follow, and if I put all this together, I think I can make it. Okay? That is all awesome. That is the structure. Those are the mechanicals. Okay? So that is what's going to help you move forward. That's sort of the path and the structure for you to follow. And sometimes just getting started with that and starting to build some momentum on that, maybe you start to see some little victories and wins along the way. That in and of itself, even if you haven't done any major work on your attitude or the energy that you're bringing to the table as you move into the activities and those actions that you've set forth for yourself, that little bit of momentum can start to change your attitude as you go. Even if you didn't really necessarily believe in the system or get yourself connected to a strong emotional reason for why you're doing this, sometimes you can get it along the way that way. But more often than not, and what I've seen with people that I've coached, is that most people don't take the time to really hash out this part of it before they get going. A lot of people don't even take the time to set forth the structure and the mechanicals, but even people who do don't take the time to connect emotionally to why they're doing this in the first place. They might be driven by some cultural reason, or somebody told them that they needed to lose 30 pounds, or just logically speaking, it makes sense for them to do it. Or it's like, hey, other people want a six-pack, maybe I should have a six-pack. So you get all of the technical stuff, the logical stuff in place to make it happen, but then you never connect emotionally to why it's important for you to do it. And without that, that's like driving that car without any fuel, or at least with not the right fuel inside of it. You're filling it with stuff that is not feeding it the way that it needs to be fed to really perform at its peak. And this is really what it comes down to and what I mean when I say, what sort of energy are you bringing to the table? Now, I keep asking you that question because you may or may not have ever really tapped into this or really analyzed this. You know, a lot of times we get preconceived notions or beliefs kind of ingrained into our heads sometime within our lifetime, whether it was handed down to us by our parents when we were younger, or by the friends that we've been around, or just society in general. You know, we've developed these habits and beliefs that a lot of times are self-defeating from the get-go. And once they've become beliefs, a lot of times we don't really consciously think about them. It's just, that's the way it is for us. That's what we think. You know, when we start a new workout program, you know, maybe you have tried to lose weight before, and you've tried a bunch of different programs, and maybe you've seen a little bit of success, but every time it seems like you fall off the wagon, or you get a little whip forward, and then you take a step back, and you always get discouraged, and you stop. And so when you start on this new journey, and you have all of those old setbacks freshly in your mind still, and that's what you've been ingraining into your belief system all this time, do you think that it's going to be any different this time around if you don't take the time to analyze those old beliefs and to start changing them out, to start reinforcing or enforcing first and foremost, and then reinforcing some new beliefs, some new more positive habits to give you a more positive attitude going into it every day? It's the actions themselves are not really going to be any different. And so that's where the technical is important. You need to know the path that you're going on. You need to know the vessel that you're working with. But if you don't have the proper fuel to fuel yourself on that journey, you're going to run into the same obstacles every time. You're going to sputter out at the same point every single time. So this is why I say, look at the energy that you're bringing to the table. What sort of attitude are you bringing to this? Are you optimistic that you're going to make it happen this time? Or are you pessimistic? Are you looking for results first and then you'll get on board? Or are you going to take the time to get yourself on board so that you can see the results? Because that's how it really happens. You have to believe in yourself and believe that you can make it happen and believe in the process first and foremost before you're really going to be able to stick it out. Because any sort of big goal, whether it be a health and fitness goal or a life goal, a career goal, something big that you want to change in your life, it's going to have challenges. It's going to have setbacks. It's going to have a lot of really challenging times where you're going to be tested emotionally and mentally and physically. And there's going to be times that you're going to doubt yourself and doubt whether or not this is really the path for you, or whether or not you're actually going to be able to attain those goals that you're going after. But you know what? If you take the time to set up your energy the right way, if you take a time to write out maybe some of those defeating beliefs ahead of time and start to enforce some new ones, start to remind yourself of why this is important for you to do this. Get connected emotionally to that reason, because that is what you're going to come back to every single day. That's going to be your fuel to drive your actions every single day. Connecting with that emotional reason is critical. We call it the why, and it is so important. You know the what, you know the programs work, you know the right nutrition plan works if you follow it and if you're consistent with it. But without the why, you will not have the incentive and the energy and the fuel to go after that consistently enough to be able to attain your goal. So whether you do it now or whether you do it along the way, do it as soon as possible, okay? Don't wait for it to just show up one day because you're going through the motions, because we only have a certain amount of willpower to force ourselves through stuff that we don't even really know why we're doing it. And ultimately, especially if you don't start to see the results that you want, you're going to quit that real soon if you don't connect to why you're doing it, okay? So connect to that why, connect to those emotions. That's going to bring you better energy. You are going to generate better energy to bring into every single activity that you do, which means you're going to get better results from each activity, okay? Make sure you're putting that performance fuel and all the right things into your vessel, into that performance car. That is you, that is your journey, and that's what I want for you. So I hope this resonated with you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. Try this out today. Get your journal out. Start writing out some of those things that you hear said in your mind that maybe you don't pay that close attention to. Start paying more attention to them. Start writing them out. Start to see, wow, I'm really starting to shoot myself in the foot because of the way that I think. I can bring a whole lot better energy to this. And I know you're going to start getting better results. And if nothing else, right away, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself. Okay? So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next time.